This super full moon at 13 degrees Gemini on December 4th, 2025, it's not subtle and it's not gentle. It's a psychic spotlight revealing the architecture of your thoughts, the places where your mind was shaped by old conditioning, inherited belief systems, and narratives you never consciously chose. And because this lunation forms a mutable Grand Cross with the nodes at 13 degrees Virgo and Pisces, the energy becomes even more undeniable. Mutable energy is change. A Grand Cross is a non-negotiable evolution. Together, they create a pressure point that demands a recalibration of your mind, your body, your beliefs, and your own inner authority. Gemini rules perception. Sagittarius rules meaning. This axis exposes the tension between what you were taught and what your soul actually knows. The full moon brings us into the deepest inquiry. Do your thoughts actually belong to you? Or are they only remnants of a former identity, a version of you that no longer exists? Here, the old childhood imprint becomes visible. There's a reason the ancient proverb says, "Give me the boy until he's 7 and I will show you the man." Because the third house, early learning, imprints the psyche long before we can discern natural law from man-made law. Law standing for land, air, and water. And this full moon exposes where those early teachings shaped us and where they distorted our own internal divine nature. With Mars and Sagittarius forming a beautiful fire-forged trine to Chiron and Aries, we get a moment of raw, liberating clarity. Identity wounds rise, not to destabilize you, but to liberate you. This is the kind of astrology that asks you to reclaim the parts of yourself you abandoned so others could remain comfortable. Here, action becomes medicine. Courage becomes truth. Authenticity becomes the path back to the self you buried. And with this Grand Cross pressure, this healing becomes inevitable. The psyche can no longer carry beliefs imposed on it before it had a voice. Mercury in Scorpio is making a tense inconjunct to Chiron, and this is where the old stories shake loose. Childhood messaging, early mental imprinting, the voices you absorbed before you had boundaries, it all comes up for revision. Mercury at 22 degrees Scorpio reveals taboos, the things that we were taught to suppress, the shame scripts around the body, Virgo South Node, the institutional beliefs around health, purity, and worthiness. This is a mental molting, a psychic exhale, a shedding of the thought forms that were never yours to carry. The South Node in Virgo brings attention to how the body internalized those early teachings, how institutional systems, schools, religions, medical authorities taught us to mistrust our own inner intelligence. But the North Node in Pisces calls us back to our own natural law, our own natural land, air, and water. Intuition, imagination, inner authority, the quiet voice of the divine within. This full moon marks the shift from man-made law to natural law, from systems that organize you from the outside to the symbolic, symbiotic intelligence that organizes you from within. And then there's the vertex in Scorpio trine Saturn, a karmic click, a moment that feels fated. When this universe places something or someone in your path that shifts your trajectory, a truth may drop in, a revelation lands, a doorway opens that could only appear now because you have finally have the consciousness to walk through this door. This is the part of the script where destiny hands you back your original mind. So under this super full moon, amplified by the Mutable Grand Cross, everything comes into focus. The mind you were shaped by, the beliefs you inherited, the body's memory of conditioning, the soul's original blueprint, the inner authority rising again, and the natural law reawakening within you. This lunation is a re-education of the self, a remembering of the mind before programming, a reclamation of the body's intelligence, a dissolving of man-made distortions, and a return to your natural intuitive knowing. This is the mind unbound. This is the belief rewritten and the self-remembered. This is the psyche of astrology. Thank you for connecting. So much love, Cosmic Soul family. We have this.